Part 1, The Wasteland's Unlikely Pair. First Contact. The acid rain pattered against Commander Elias Blackwood's reinforced helmet as he surveyed the bleak landscape through his visor. The expedition to Nova Thera had been uneventful until now, just another routine sweep of the abandoned colony world, looking for salvageable tech and answers about what had happened to the settlers. The distress beacon had been active for 3 months, but this was the first time Central Command had authorized a rescue mission. Radiation levels dropping, Commander, Lieutenant Patel reported from beside him, her scanner beeping softly. Still not safe for extended exposure, but we can manage 6 hours before hitting dangerous thresholds. Blackwood nodded, the motion barely visible beneath his heavy environmental suit. Fan out. Standard search pattern. Remember, this was a research outpost with nearly 300 colonists. We're looking for survivors, data logs, anything that might explain what happened here. The squad of 8 soldiers moved methodically across the ruined settlement. Buildings stood half-collapsed, their once pristine white facades now stained with rust-colored residue from the planet's toxic atmosphere. The colony had been established just 5 years ago, Terra Corp's pride and joy, a self-sufficient research hub focused on xenobiology. Now it was a graveyard. Commander. The shout came from Sergeant Reynolds, positioned at the eastern perimeter. Movement detected in Research Building C, definitely not just environmental shifting. Blackwood signaled the team to converge on Reynolds's position. Heat signatures. 1 human-sized, barely registering. And. Reynolds hesitated, adjusting his scanner. Something else. Much larger. Temperature reading doesn't make sense, it's colder than ambient. Survivors? Lieutenant Patel whispered, hope edging into her voice. Or scavengers, Blackwood countered. Weapons ready, non-lethal protocols until identified. The Guardian's shadow. The research building loomed before them, its central dome partially caved in, allowing feeble purple light from Nova Thera's distant sun to filter through. Blackwood led the point team while the others secured the perimeter. The airlock had been forcibly opened months ago, and the decontamination systems were offline. They moved through darkened corridors, stepping over fallen debris and occasional personal belongings, signs of hasty evacuation. Whatever had happened here had happened fast. Life signs strengthening, Reynolds murmured. 20 meters ahead, sublevel access. The stairwell down was illuminated only by their helmet lights, creating eerie, shifting shadows as they descended. Blackwood felt the weight of silence pressing down, broken only by their footsteps and the occasional crackle of their comms. Sublevel 3 had been a biological containment area, maximum security for the colony's more dangerous specimens. The massive security door at the bottom was ajar, torn from its hinges by some incredible force. Blackwood signaled a halt, studying the damage. Claw marks, each groove nearly 10 centimeters deep, scored the metal. What could do this? Patel breathed. Blackwood didn't answer. Beyond the torn door lay darkness, but their sensors indicated movement. He switched his helmet lamp to its lowest setting and advanced. The containment chamber beyond was vast, its ceiling lost in shadow despite their lights. Broken specimen tanks lined the walls, their contents long gone. In the center of the room, something massive shifted in the darkness. Contact, whispered Reynolds unnecessarily. The behemoth rises. The creature unfolded from the darkness, rising to a height of nearly 4 meters. Its form was vaguely humanoid but covered in overlapping plates of what appeared to be obsidian chitin. 6 limbs, 4 massive arms and 2 powerful legs, supported its frame. Where a head should have been, a cluster of sensory organs pulsed with bioluminescent blue light. It had no visible eyes, yet Blackwood felt with absolute certainty that it was watching them. Weapons ready, he ordered quietly, raising his own pulse rifle to firing position. The creature made no move to attack. Instead, it shifted slightly, revealing what it had been hunched over, a small form, huddled beneath what appeared to be a makeshift shelter created from the creature's own body. Is that the child? Patel gasped. Blackwood adjusted his visor settings, enhancing the image. A small human girl, perhaps 5 or 6 years old, sat cross-legged on the floor. Her clothes were tattered but clean, her dark hair wild but not matted. Most surprisingly, she showed no signs of radiation poisoning or malnutrition. She appeared to be drawing something on the floor with a piece of broken equipment. Impossible, Reynolds muttered. No human could survive here for months, especially not a child. The girl looked up at them, her expression curious rather than frightened. When she spoke, her voice was clear and unafraid. Are you here to take us home? The child's trust. The creature shifted its massive form, a low rumbling emanating from somewhere within its body. Its upper limbs extended slightly, creating a protective canopy over the child. Easy, Blackwood said, partly to his team, partly to the creature. Lower your weapons to ready position. Sir. Reynolds questioned, his rifle still aimed at the behemoth. That's an order, Sergeant. If it wanted to attack, it would have done so already. Blackwood took a careful step forward. The creature's bioluminescent lights pulsed more rapidly, but it made no aggressive move. Hello, Blackwood said to the girl, his external speakers making his voice sound mechanical. My name is Commander Elias Blackwood. We're here to help. What's your name? Lily, the girl replied simply. And this is Goliath. He takes care of me. Blackwood fought to keep his voice steady. Goliath? Is that what you call him? Lily nodded. He doesn't talk, not with words. But he understands everything. He's very smart. I'm sure he is, Blackwood said, mind racing through protocols for this utterly unprecedented situation. Lily, where are your parents? The other people who lived here? The girl's face fell. They went away when the bad things came. Goliath saved me. He brings me food and keeps me warm. She patted one of the creature's lower limbs affectionately. He won't let you take me unless he comes too. The creature, Goliath, rumbled again, the sound reverberating through their boots. Uneasy alliance. Patel edged closer to Blackwood. Commander, this is beyond protocol. That thing is clearly from the containment area. It's one of the specimens they were studying. And it's kept a child alive for months in an environment that should have killed them both, Blackwood replied quietly. That makes it either a miracle or a scientific breakthrough. He raised his voice again. Lily, we have a ship. We can take you somewhere safe, with other people. Would you like that? Lily looked up at the towering form of Goliath. Can he come too? Blackwood hesitated. Bringing an unknown alien life form aboard was against every regulation in the book. But the alternative was leaving the child behind or separating her from her protector. Neither option seemed viable. Yes, he decided. Goliath can come too, as long as he doesn't harm anyone. The creature's luminescent organs dimmed slightly, as if in consideration. Then, slowly, it lowered its massive form to the ground, bringing itself closer to eye level with Blackwood. One of its upper limbs extended toward him, not threateningly, but open-palmed. He wants to make sure you're good, Lily explained. He can tell from touching. Reynolds tensed. Sir, I strongly advise. At ease, Sergeant, Blackwood commanded, though his own heart pounded in his chest. Slowly, he removed his glove, exposing his hand to the planet's atmosphere, a calculated risk for this crucial moment of trust. He extended his hand to meet the creature's limb. The contact was shocking, cold as ice yet somehow thrumming with energy. Images flashed through Blackwood's mind, destruction, fire, panic, and then, protection, shelter, care. Goliath showing him, somehow, that its intentions toward Lily were pure. When the connection broke, Blackwood staggered slightly. He likes you, Lily said with a smile. He says you can take us home now. Blackwood replaced his glove, still reeling from the psychic contact. Lieutenant Patel, contact the Artemis. Tell them we need decontamination protocols and containment chamber be prepared. We're bringing back survivors. As they prepared to escort their unusual charges to the surface, Blackwood wondered what Central Command would make of his decision. A child impossibly alive in a toxic wasteland, protected by a creature that should have been her natural predator, it defied explanation. But looking at Lily's trusting face as she rode effortlessly on one of Goliath's massive limbs, Blackwood knew he couldn't have left either of them behind. The journey back to their ship would just be the beginning of a much stranger odyssey.